I'm usually a skeptic, but seeing is believing.
You're going to experience this phenomena because this phenomena does exist. Metal bending does exist. You could let go of that just for a second. This one. This one is starting to go. Seriously. This one's starting to go. It's hot.
The concept of bending metal by mere thought alone has intrigued, baffled, and amazed audiences for decades. The image of a bent spoon or a fork with its tines mysteriously melted this way and that has become entwined in society's psyche through decades of controversy and debate. The theme of psychic metal bending has been celebrated in newspaper articles, magazine features, investigative books, documentaries, talk shows, novels, and movies, including a landmark scene in the cult film The Matrix. How did spoon bending become such an iconic representation of all that is mysterious, magical, and supernatural? Magician and author Ben Harris witnessed Uri Geller's premiere demonstrations of spoon bending back in 1973. He wrote his first book on metal bending, Gellerism Revealed, as an examination paper for the famed Magic Circle of London in 1979. Harris has toured the world demonstrating metal bending and other illusions, and famously debated Uri Geller on national television.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant stroke on your part. Exactly what I said. But it's a trick. It is not psychic.
His latest book, Bend It Like Geller, published in April 2023, is a broad 50-year celebration of the metal bending genre.
The early 1970s. The friction was incredible. The war was on. Was Uri Geller really psychic? Was it a hoax? Science was divided on the question. One thing was for sure, the debate was not going to go anywhere soon.
Much of the controversy was fueled by Canadian magician and famed escapologist James Randi, who vehemently objected to monies being allocated to so-called scientific studies into psychic claims. Geller was, at the time, involved with the Stanford Research Institute, being tested for remote viewing capabilities.
At the end of the day, if I was using tricks and if I did have chemicals or sleight of hand or bugs in my teeth or peeping into envelopes, I mean, I would have been caught 1,000 times.
In 1976, in a broad and collective response, Randi, along with Martin Gardner, Marcello Truzzi, Paul Kurtz, and others, formed the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal. The psychic versus skeptic war has raged unabated ever since.
Here we had a brand new effect, a stunning visual, something emotive, something that we could connect with our spectators, creating magical moments, wondrous moments. We created our own methods. We hopped on board Uri's gravy train, and we've made the genre our own in a way. And the evolution of ideas continues to this day, 50 years later.
It is possible to trace the evolution of how magicians develop the metal bending effect to suit themselves and their performing styles. Harris's book does this, collecting material that has been spread across books, magazines, and 50 years worth of time. Banachek, Richard Osterland, David Berglas, Guy Bavley, Kikuchi, Morgan Strebler, and Elaine New have all pushed it along further, adding new visuals and niceties, making metal bending one of magic's most enduring performance pieces.
Nowadays, metal bending is performed in a very quick, snappy fashion, often it seems with the intent of leaving the spectator with an impossible object, whereas back in the early days, the 1970s and 80s, it was a more prolonged effect involving the spectator gradually, slowly melting or bending the metal. Even the smallest bend was impressive under those psychological guidelines. It grew the effect. Today, snap, 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 boom, final impossible object. Same result, just a different way of getting there.
The allure of metal bending has not faded over the decades, and performed by more magicians than at any other time in history, Banachek and Elaine New headline in Las Vegas with their stunning full evening shows. Toy companies have produced novelty bending spoons, and there's even a Pokemon character based on Uri Geller's bent spoon symbolism. Across the oceans, in Tel Aviv, the Uri Geller Museum houses 50 years worth of mind-boggling souvenirs, all related to his mysterious life and travels as the world's premier spoon bender. Out front of the museum sits the world's largest bent spoon at a whopping 53 feet in length. Metal bending is in good hands, and we are confident will continue to evolve and amaze audiences for decades to come.
The skeptics will say that they're all making it up or lying, and that you will have to decide.